It's me, Jacob Williams. The time is about 20 past 7 in the morning. Currently suffering from insomnia. So I thought I'd do a little sort of dumb little video for you guys. Because I like doing videos, but I don't always have the means to do them. If you hear anything, it's the rain outside. It's been a rainy night, and thus a rainy morning. But one thing I think I've touched on Twitter a little bit, but sort of more in a jokey way, but not really on the channel, is I like my comic books. I don't like my comic book movies. Madly against them, as you probably know. But I do like the odd comic book. I'm not a die-hard by any stretch. I don't have many. I'm more than, I'd say, the average person who reads comic books. But I don't have a collection or anything. I mean, a lot of my friends, they have loads more than I do. And I brought down just some, because I don't really have all of them. I have some in the room over there. I have some in there. And also a lot of them, a lot of them, there's not much I can say, you know. It's just sort of like, this is Batman, this is a good one. This is Batman, it's a good one. So I've tried to get a good selection, but generally speaking, I just sort of grabbed and then just sort of made sure that I didn't bring too much of the same thing. Like I said, I'm no Harry Knowles. So if you feel like you need to express how bad my taste is or how weak my selection is in the comments, then you should first be made aware that I don't care. So let's begin. The first one is I don't know if this is going to be flipped for you watching at home. It's alright, I'm going to be reading out the titles anyway. This is the graphic novel version of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's adapted by Hunter S. Thompson, but it's adapted by Troy Little. Very thick, sort of thick. It's a good, I'd say this is the perfect thickness, you know. I don't know if that's even referenced. My head's very big, so this might not be the best example. What can I do for side-by-side comparison? It's something that everyone identifies with. This bottle of wine. This is a bottle of wine. I'd say that is a really good thickness for a graphic novel. Shit. One taking this, so put that back. It's not mine, by the way. I don't drink wine, so stop asking me to give it to you. No, yeah, I'd say that's the perfect thickness for a graphic novel. Obviously there are exceptions, but I'd say if someone was like, hey, read this, I wouldn't be too daunted by that, you know. And when stuff is a bit thinner than that, I feel like there's not a lot of meat to it, unless you have expert writers, you know. Obviously an exception that comes to mind is Killing Joke, which is very thin, but you get very invested. But that carries the weight of the whole Joker backstory. It's not just that; it's got the Red Hood stuff in it as well, and the Barbara Gordon stuff. So, you know, there is more context. But no, this is, if you like the film or the book or anything by Hunter S. Thompson, this is a great thing to add to your collection. I couldn't stress that enough. I was deeply impressed. A lot of subtle things as well. To the average person, this probably means nothing, but it's a symbol of gonzo journalism. And just generally speaking, the way it's composited, the way the images are thrown together, the text, the different sizes, different fonts for different emoting. It's just really, really well put together. I was very pleasantly surprised. And for example, look at that. This is the reptile room scene. like that's just fantastic. It's really worth reading. Actually, now that I think about it, if you don't know who Hunter S. Thompson is, if you've never even heard of the book or the film Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but you like graphic novels and you want to like maybe expand your taste a little bit, I recommend it as well. I recommend it to everyone. It's a great place to start, and it's also a great thing to add to your, maybe if you have a Hunter S. Thompson collection of any kind. But no, it's great. Great detail. Like, if there's something in the film that you wish they included from the book, they did it, you know. A lot of really subtle stuff, like the different drugs they're on, the font will be different. Like, they're on, I think it's ether in this scene, and they've got, like, this, like, grey / greeny color, and this, like squiggled handwriting, typewriting, stuff like that. Really good. Let's see. Made by Top Shelf Productions. I forgot what the pricing was. Yeah, in America it is $24.99. I don't know how much this was in Britain because I got it as a gift. But yes, very good. I assume that was America. What's the currency in Canada again? No, it's that. Oof, this one's heavy. Fight Club 2. I got with this one as well. Let's start with the cover. I love the first thing I've got is the art, and this is arguably the best thing about it. You know, like you got this little collage of like smiley faces, pills, clock, eyeball, that kind of stuff. The art it's exceptional. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, honestly, it's a bit thicker than I personally like. I think this is one of the, if not the thickest one in the collection. And it's got a very chunky story as well. Very confusing one as well. Like if you read Fight Club or you saw the film and you went into it and you were like, oh, this will be like the film and the other book. It's more similar to the book, probably, you know, obviously because Chuck Palahniuk made this one. So I really, if you're gonna pick this up because you love the film, I couldn't stress more that you should probably read the book first, just because you might be a little bit confused as to not so much the characters, right? Actually, the characters you'll understand, but the themes and the surrealism and the duality of Tyler and I think it's called Sebastian in this, yeah. If you haven't read the book, you might not get that so much. I will, however, have to be a dick for a minute because I do like it, and I'm glad I read it, and I'm not going to be selling it or anything. But the ending, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it is really disappointing. It builds into something great, and then they do that thing where they have like a fake ending, and then they go, just kidding, that's not really the ending type thing. But the fake ending's really good. Like, it's a bit bleak, but it's good and it works. But yeah, I don't know. It's not as good as this. Amazingly, because this is technically an original concept, and this is just based off a book. So I don't know how much credit I can actually give this in terms of story, but yeah, it's an interesting one. I think if you've read the original book of Fight Club, you'll really like this. If not, you might be a bit lost. How much did it cost? I'm sure. In America, it's $29.99, and in Canada, it's $39.99. Again, I don't know how much it cost in the UK because this was a gift. I actually got these two together for Christmas. So let's put these back. I'll tell you what, I'll save that one. Ooh, yeah, Infestation. Collected Dust, which shows I haven't read it that much. Yeah, this one was interesting. I bought it, I don't remember how, years ago now. I'll show you the cover. If you can't make that out, you've got a zombie hand, Peter Venkman from Ghostbusters, Optimus Prime, Dr. Spock's. Hi, I'm Dr. Spock's now. Dr. Spock and Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, which is obviously why I bought it, because I don't know anything about the people who made it, IDW, nothing. So I just saw that and I went into it, which means if you've read it and you want to dispute what I'm about to say in the comments, that is completely fine. You probably know more about it than I do, but I didn't like it at all. They got some cool ideas. Basically, what it's about. I didn't even go into what these are about. A journalist and his lawyer go to Las Vegas on a road trip with a lot of drugs, and it's better than it sounds. More about the American dream and the end of the hippie era and stuff. That's too complicated to go into, especially if you've never heard of Fight Club. Yeah. So I think it's the Marvel zombies, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's the Marvel zombies or something like that, or just zombies. Some brand of zombies. They sort of like start invading different universes within the G.I. Joe, Star Trek, Transformers, and Ghostbusters universes, and then at the very, 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 very end, they join forces, and in the most rushed climax a graphic novel has ever had, in my opinion, out of all the ones I've read anyway. Yeah, they didn't really integrate very well, which is one issue I had with it. Like, I really was looking forward to seeing Venkman on top of Optimus Prime's shoulder, like, let's do this, because you're not going to see that in film form because it's going to look ridiculous, but in graphic novel form you can make that ridiculous work. And I was very disappointed that it was almost too safe, and they had their own respective universes. Also, I don't know who wrote for the Ghostbusters scenes, but as a really big Ghostbusters fan, that was the part I was most looking forward to. Like, I don't remember what order it's in, but let's say that it goes like Star Trek, G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters. I was reading through Star Trek like, oh, this is cool, but I can't wait to get to Ghostbusters. Same with G.I. Joe, can't wait to get Ghostbusters. And I was very disappointed with the writing style. It wasn't very witty. It sort of had a lot of reference humor, and that's not really... It was Harold Ramis who wrote it, right? Was it Ramis and Aykroyd who wrote the movie? I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. So I was a bit disappointed with the writing style, but generally speaking, it was just so safe and just kind of boring. There was a lot of nothing, and on a more personal note, like, you can discredit this as an argument if you want, but there was a lot of G.I. Joe heavy stuff, and me growing up in the UK, I wasn't that familiar with G.I. Joe. I mean, I was more familiar with it than most British kids, but that was because my older brother was really into 80s cartoon shows. So subsequently, so was I. So it was very G.I. Joe heavy, which was fine if you like that. Star Trek, I know a fair amount about the original series. I'm not a big fan of that. Transformers, I love, and Ghostbusters, I love with all my heart. So yeah, if you like it, if what I've described to you is like, oh yeah, that actually sounds really good, do pick it up. I'm sure it's not like it's like really bad. It's not like, oh, it just wasn't for me. I guess I wasn't the audience. In America, it's $34, $34.99, and I had it for so long I do not remember how much it cost in pounds. This isn't a graphic novel, it is a play. A very good play. The Last Days of Judas Iscariot. Yeah. If you have time to see a production of it or have a copy of it and read it, it's a fascinating play. But it's not relevant to what we're doing here, and I didn't realise I put that in the pile. Next. One of my favourites. This is Punisher, the Complete Collection. Sorry, my cat's making noise. This is Punisher, the Complete Collection, Volume 1. The newest one. Here, I only bought this about 2 weeks ago. I only finished it about a week ago. Pardon me. Go away. It's very good. Especially if you want to get into Punisher, if you're like, but you don't know where to start. That's often, and this includes myself, this is often where people sort of struggle when it comes to comic books, and I really don't blame them because I had the exact same thing, and I was lucky enough to have friends who were really into comic books to help me. But it's often, where do I start? Like, there's a goal for stuff, and like you want to start, at least I want to start chronologically, you know, because oftentimes I'll be like, oh, I really want to get into Superman, but I don't know where to start. And then someone will offer me like a graphic novel that like takes place like 10 years into the Superman story, and so I'm not going to understand it. I want to, what is the best version of his origin, and then give it to me like that. Like, I know comic books don't always work that way, but most times they do. So, say for example, you wanted to get into Punisher, you didn't know where to start. I couldn't recommend this enough. It is so great. The first story takes place way before Punisher is even a thing. Like, it takes place back when Frank Castle was in Vietnam, which you might be thinking, what's that got to do with anything? But it really helps establish the character. And it's just a series of excellent stories that develop him so refinedly, and his relationships and how he interacts with people, and how he sees things, how he sees the universe, and how it, you know, the only thing I'd say negative-wise towards it is that it can get a little bit, a story will end and you'll be like, ooh, I want to see what Frank Castle did next, and then it will sort of jump a little bit too far ahead to the next story, but that is a tiny dispute. Like, honestly, I imagine though that like die-hard Punisher fans might not like this because it's, I don't know, I don't know enough about Punisher, but something comes across to me like this is the kind of thing that like a Punisher snob would be like, I can't believe you read that, like, but whatever, who cares about the snobs, right? Honestly, if you want to get into Punisher, take it from someone who's not a snob. This is a good book. In America, it costs $34.99, like Infestation, and in Canada it's $38.99. I got it for a lot cheaper, as I remember. I got it on Amazon, and I want to say it was in the 20s, but I don't want you guys going on Amazon and seeing that I'm way off. I genuinely don't remember. But it's not far off that amount, you know. What's next? Oof. Actually, I should definitely save that for last. So these two come in a bulk. I didn't buy them in bulk, but they have to come in a pair, because otherwise they suck. And once I elaborate on that, you'll know what I mean. This is The Mask, as in the Jim Carrey movie. Very, very thin. Super thin. Where's that bottle of wine? Super thin. But it manages to pack a lot in there, and by a lot, I mean violence, not character development. If you want to read The Mask to find out more about the Stanley Ipkiss character, you're in for a rude awakening, my friend, because it is about the guns and the blood. And, you know, if you're into that, I couldn't recommend it more. If you're not into that, if you want more sort of character-driven stuff, I'd say go for something like this, or not Infestation, but The Mask. No, it's very good, especially someone who saw the film first, which is the only, you know, these other ones I read the originals for before this. This is one I saw the film first, and it's completely different. The art style is very good. The art style is very creative. They have this sort of lighting technique that I can't really go into because I'm not smart enough. But that's one of my favorite things about it. Generally, it's just pure carnage. Like, look at, I love it. A suit, like, you often find yourself reading it, and there's like the human scenes, and you'll be like, ooh, this dialogue's a bit unnatural, or ooh, like you could have developed that character a bit more. But as soon as you get into the gratuitous violence, it it makes it just all worth it as far as I'm concerned. I got this about 2 years ago. No, more than that, about 3 years ago. And the first time I read it, I really didn't like it, and then I realised that I got the mask completely wrong, and I read it again, and I loved it. This cost $14.95 in the US and $20.95 in Canada. I can tell you right now that this cost me £15 because I bought it in a shop in another city in England, which I'm not going to go more into because I genuinely don't know. It was either Liverpool or Manchester, one of those. And this I bought about a month ago. And it's The Mask Returns, and it's a sequel because I read this and it ends on a cliffhanger. Nearly showed it to you, I'm not going to do that, but it ends on a cliffhanger. And I was like, oh shit. And I had to wait 2 years because I was so poor. But I finally got the next one, and this is better. This is thinner, way thinner, not as many pages, but a lot better. The art is a lot smoother. Like let's do a side by side actually. Do a side by side. I'll find a page that doesn't have a spoiler on it. God damn it. Sorry, boys. They all okay. Like, right. This is the mask. Bit grey, yeah. But you see how like cleaner The Mask Returns is, like in terms of its art style. And I really like that. Someone will argue that, oh no, it's not in keeping with the tone, but it's just, and this one's just pure mania as well, but at this point you sort of care about the characters a bit more. It's just drawn better, generally. More refined, better taste. This one also cost me approximately £15. No, sorry. Oh, no, yeah, of course. It didn't cost me £15, sorry. It cost me £8. And this one, amazingly, does not have a US Canadian price on it. Now, why, you might be wondering? Well, for some reason, this copy is from a library. I took off the plastic sleeve, and I know there's going to be combo fans screaming right now, going, I can't believe you would do that. But yeah, the front page, the cover page is a bit ruined because I took off the library sticker that said that this book had not been returned in a really long time. I think I looked at the date of when this got took out. It was like 1998 or something. It's crazy. Finally, we go on to what's probably the best graphic novel of all time. I mean, objectively, you might have your personal preferences, but objectively speaking, Watchmen is the greatest graphic novel of all time. Kind of thick. There really isn't anything to say that hasn't been said a million times. I mean, the back of it itself, it doesn't even have the plot synopsis. It just has reviews. Like there is nothing I can say about the story that you don't already know. It's amazing. It's compelling. It's emotional. It's clever. It's thought-provoking. The characters are distinctive yet nuanced, and honestly, it's very, very good. And there's really not much anything interesting to say other than this copy is like, I don't know the official term. I know with records it's original press A, but I don't know with comic books. I'm just going to say original press A. It's the original press A, which is why it looks a bit knackered, but I like that knackered look, if I'm being completely honest with you. The colouring as well is gorgeous. The way that every scene sort of has a coloured theme. Like this scene, when the cop goes to visit Dan, like, I don't know if you can make that out now. You can't make that out properly because of the hue. But you see how there's like a lot of that weird salmon colour? Well, that's pink in the actual graphic novel. It's a lot of pink, and this scene has a pink theme that rhymed. And then you go a bit further, and then you got this red theme for this scene, and you don't really get that in anything other than like a Dave Gibbons sort of thing, you know. It's generally really well put together book, and like I said, there's really nothing I can say about it that hasn't already been said a billion times. In the US, this copy cost $19.99 and timed it cost $24.99. And like I said, I had this a really long time, and I couldn't possibly tell you how much this cost me. So this is easily the oldest one here. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I have more. I have a lot more actually, now that I think about it, more than I originally thought, because I have some over there as well. But you know, let me know. Leave in the comments like what your favorite comic book that you have is, why. If you disagree with me on anything I said about these, you know, go ahead and let me know, respectfully, of course. Otherwise, I'll just call you an idiot and not respond to you. If you want to see the rest of them, let me know. I don't know why you would. I'm not very good at saying why I like them. I just do. And yeah, if you check out The Last Days of Judas Iscariot, it's a very good play. Oh, and finally, of course, go away. Finally, you know, of course, if there was any graphic novel here that you were like, oh yeah, I didn't know that existed, or yeah, I heard about that, I was gonna check that out. Go ahead, you know, seriously. It's worth it. Bye.